Literally.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. From one visual novel game to the next. Isn't it great? Oh, wow. It only took a moment for Chumpy to take in this his new surroundings.
Is this some kind of casino?
Yes.
Sure looks like one.
Before Chumpy could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. The stream activity is still Ace Attorney. Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Good job. I would never forget to change the category at all. What do you mean? This is Ace Attorney. This actually is Ace Attorney evolved, because in this game, you don't lose brain cells. Snake was shaking the door. They'd just come through.
Well, this is troubling.
Is the voice acting loud enough for you guys? As Seven and Chumpy watched, he threw up his hands in frustration and then kicked the door for good measure. But we will from all the puns Chumpy makes. But puns are good.
It seems we are once again locked in.
There was no reason to panic, however.
Even if that door was open, it's not like we had anywhere to go that way.
So we must find another exit then.
All right, guys, let's split up and search this room. Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now.
Is it fine, the voice acting from the game? Is this loud enough, or shall I up it a little bit? Yes, I'm asking you. Crazy, I know. It's fine for me? Okay. Spurred to action by Seven's words, Chumpy and Snake began to examine the room. Seek a way out. It's one room, but it's a little bit bigger. Well. Back to this. Twitch plays 999. But what I'm going to do here? Tell me. Bum, bum, bum. Oh no, interaction between streamer and watchers. Oh no. How am I going to survive that? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. As your GM, you looking at this picture. What do you want to do? Yes, I'm turning this into a D&D session. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. This is what streaming is it about. It's like the interaction between streamer and watchers. Don't be so shy. Never. Oh yes. Come on. You are playing this game with me. You decide what I shall do. Tell me what I'm going to do here. Here we have a table. No thoughts, head empty. This is not a breeding session. Hey Jumpy, isn't that a card sitting on the table here? This feeling, it seems to be a playing card. We have found the 5 of, I guess, spades. There's nothing on the table anymore. Standard run-of-the-mill chairs. Oh, a playing card. 4 of spades. Something on the counter. Looks like a card. A playing card. A 7 of spades. Can be though. Can be, yes. There's a whole lot of glasses on that shelf. Doesn't look like there's anything else back there, though. Well, will you look at that? Someone left a bottle of booze here. Don't mind if I do. Look, look, look. Ah. A blowjob always feels good. Wait. Oh, that hits the spot. Feels like my throat's burning. That is, on the other hand, not a good thing after a... Damn, he really drank it. We don't even know how long it's been there. Not wrong. Counter's pretty well polished. There's firewood in the fireplace. There's a weird looking thing floating in there. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, when those 2 lights turned on, I heard something from the bottom of the fireplace. What was that? I heard something down there. Didn't think I would find a card here. Casino coin. Ooh. Well, at any rate, this gate is very impressive. Feels like granite? Seems to be elaborately decorated in several places. A shame I cannot see it. This door is shut tight. It won't open. That square table looks like a mahjong table. Do you play mahjong 7? Or maybe? I don't remember exactly, but I do remember a couple hands and some of the rules, so I figured I must have played it at some point. Excellent. Once we've vacated this vessel, I should like to play a game with you. Can you play? As long as you tell me which tiles I am eliminating, yes. I believe I have at least enough skill to defeat an amateur. However, I must ask you to remove the red tiles when we play. Court. Wow, this place is like super amazing. What is this place for? Probably playing Baccarat. Looks like a little off though. Yeah, look at the middle of the table. There's something mounted on it. See? Oh, I'm sorry, that's Epitome. Suddenly, Seven began to speak.
Ah, Baccarat. You ever played Junpei?
Jumpy shook his head. He'd barely even heard of the game.
No, never.
Oh my.
Alright then, how about I explain the rules to you a bit? See, Baccarat is kind of an unusual game. You've got the banker and the player. The whole point is that you guess which one's gonna win. And whether the banker or the player wins, it all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games too. See, you take the number from the ones place after you add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it? Well, actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. The single digit of the sum of all the cards you have. The strongest hand is a 9. And the weakest hand is a 0. You just ignore the number in the 10 spot. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He hadn't been asked for it, but Seven's explanation rushed through. It had been... What? Seven's explanation rushed, though it had been, was helpful. Rushed, though it had been. Okay, I get it.
Well, maybe half of it. Enough. I got a chance at winning the game if I played now.
However, we have no way of knowing if the puzzle in the Baccarat table makes use of those rules, and if it does, in what manner.
Then I guess we try everything.
Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Jumpy approached the Baccarat table. Let's see. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the question is this the bankers? Probably. So I must make a perfect 9. Three. 3, 7, but that doesn't make a 9. We need more cards. Check out the stained glass. How beautiful. What? Huh? Stained glass is colored pieces of glass placed together in a frame. As I've said many times before, I only need to touch it to know. I can at least discern the basic structure. Doesn't look like a mahjong table, but I think it is probably for poker. There's nothing on it. So I've got the symbols for heart, spade and diamond here. It says 1 on the plate. This is the drawer they use to pick up the money. It's locked tight. I can't get it open. Alright, let's put a coin from the bag in here. What happened? I heard an odd noise. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I pressed some of the buttons and smacked the machine once or twice, but nothing happened. Oh, looks like the coin got stuck. Oh dear. Coins are stuck. Don't think this machine is going to work anymore. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's drop a coin in this coin slot. Not my coin, no! Come on, you little bastard. I only need one of you. Destroy this monster. Oh. I win. 777. Yes, 777. And I think I hear something unlocking in there. Impressive, Jumpy. It would appear to be unlocked now. There's something akin to a drawer in the bottom part of this machine, yes? That is a pickup drawer for dividend. Probably the lock for the drawer got unlocked. Please open it, if you would. What is this? Is there something in there? Yeah, a playing card and this. A key with the Venus symbol on it. Excellent, Jumpy. Now we will be able to open the gate. And we just need to figure out how to get out of this room. Correct. Come on, Jumpy. Hurry up. And he's off. There was a playing card and a Venus key. Better to put the key in my pocket for later. As for the card, here's my 2. Now we can win the game of Baccarat. It's a coin slot, and we don't use this machine anymore. It's the drawer they use to pick up money. It's locked tight. I can't open it right now. Yeah, let's win here. Baccarat table. There's a glass case in the center of it. I know. Let me play it. Hey 7, are we really supposed to play Baccarat? It's a Baccarat table. What the hell else would we do? Stop worrying about it. It's really simple. What's the opponent's hand? Well, there's an 8 in that glass case. Alright, then what's your opponent's number? If that's the case, what 3 cards do we need to get that number? 3 cards? A couple of indentions with the white lines around them, right? Those mean we gotta put down 3 cards, so place 3 cards here and defeat the opponent's 8. That's what I've gotta do, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Something tells me those aren't the only rules. Alright, let's give it a shot. Before I start, I better make sure I've got all the rules straight. There are 3 empty indentations. I just gotta pick a card and play it. I figure if I put them in the right spots, something ought to happen. Alright, let's give it a try. Yay! And here comes your puzzle system. Which 3 cards do we need to win? Yes, very difficult. Dum da dum 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 da dum 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 da dum dum. You can do it. I believe in you. It's a simple addition calculation. Correct, it's 777. Yes, definitely. My chat is always so decisive. Interaction. You arrive at the Baccarat table and you are presented with a puzzle. Defeat your opponent in Baccarat. What are you going to do? Come on, Coffee. You like D&D. Coffee says 4, 6, 7. Apparently not. Now the question is, that's the thing, like, okay, he explained to us the rules of Baccarat, but here's the question, do we play Baccarat or do we play for this card? Because there are two solutions to this. Wanna give it another try, Coffee? Five, 6, 7. Alright, I just put down these 3 cards. Yes, open for me. Great. You did it, Jumpy. You think it's telling us to take the 8 card? Come on, let's grab it. Alright, let's take this card. Give me those cards. So, the interesting part is, like, he explained us that the game Baccarat is about to get as close as possible to the number 9 to win. And because of that, you could now assume that you need to form a 9 with these 3 cards, but actually you need to form the 8. I feel like this is not very well explained in this specific puzzle. But you will figure it out sooner or later, because if 9 doesn't work, it's pretty clear it's 8. It says 9. Yeah, it looks like that cover's hiding something. If this is the cover, then maybe it opens up. Probably does. Here's a card slot. Looks like we need to put a playing card in here. Alright, let's give it a shot. Two. No? Apparently not. There's only one solution to this. Four. Nope. Do it, Anakin. Anakin, do 4. Oh no. What's 4 times 2? It's 8. Seven. We don't have 7. And do you understand why it's 8? Because the ace counts as 1. 1 plus 8 equals 9. And in you go. Hey, alright, it opened up. It seems we have another device to contend with, yes? Maths. Oh, 3 slots in this one. Oh my god, let's see. 3 slots for cards. And there's a 9 right below them. So that probably means we gotta make it 9 with the 3 cards we put in the slots, right? Just like what we did over at the Baccarat table. Alright, let's give it a shot. Oh my god, could it be that it is the 3 remaining cards? I don't know. It's so difficult. Alright, so I pull all the cards we had left in our slots. No way! Yeah, what a puzzle, right? What happens now? Is that, yes, I did hear something from the exit. Excellent work, Chimpy. Wonderful. Seems the exit is unlocked. Let's go. Jumpy, where are you going? Isn't the exit unlocked now? The liquor! You're gonna drink that booze on the counter. Well, I'm not gonna let you beat me to it. For one, you're way too young to drink liquor. I turned 21 a while ago. Gah! Just leave my medicine alone, alright? Jumpy, we must leave before 7 goes insane. think it's a little bit late for that. Alright, let's go. You found it! Okay, it's in the novel version. Good. Alcoholics. Ah yes, the best drivers from God. Jumpy and his companions ran out of the casino and into a large open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They already knew what their next step had to be.
This way.
Iron Gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway, and right in the center of it.
The keyhole with the Venus symbol. The Venus key should work here.
Imagine the Venus key actually wouldn't work. Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the femboy. He turned it. With the distinctive sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open.
It sounds like it did. All right, let's get this thing open.
No problem. Let me help with this one.
Jumpy grabbed the handle on the left side and Seven took the handle on the right. On Jumpy's signal, they both pushed and the legs separated. Wait.
It sounds as though you have opened it. We should be able to reach C deck now, I imagine.
Snake, are you gonna be all right? I mean, the stairs.
Please, do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards.
Good to hear. Let's move.
At Seven's words, they leapt onto the stairs and jogged quickly down them. Your legs! In no time at all, they found themselves on C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
We should check the next deck down, just in case.
When we reached the water, he called back up to Snake and Seven.
Just what I thought. D-deck is completely underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The surface of the water below them was flat, like a mirror.
I'm just glad the water level hasn't changed much.
Back to the C deck then.
Now, how about we check out what's here?
They began searching around and taking stock of what was on C deck.
There are 2 elevators over there, which means it's probably the same upstairs.
There's a card reader between them. And another weird mark.
Hey, check it out. It's the symbol for Lotus.
What?
See? It's got the woman symbol, and then it's got the devil horns, right?
Yeah, I see it. No two ways about it. That was a pretty good one, kid.
Seven tousled Jumpy's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Jumpy feared his neck might break, even though it was clear Seven had kept his strength in check.
Oh, would you watch it, man? Whew, that hurts. You're gonna break my neck.
What are you talking about? The human body ain't that weak. Maybe this'll toughen you up, huh?
If we were looking for a devil, we've got one right here.
Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Jumpy's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader.
This is a Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are a stylized version of the wings and staff of Hermes.
Wings and a staff. So then, she beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven. Sounds like Lotus, all right.
Okay.
Seven shook Jumpy's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain was being jostled about inside of his skull.
7! Oh, that's too much! Oh, my head!
Jumpy's stomach began churning uncomfortably.
Oh, I think I'm gonna puke.
Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function.
In other words, we gotta find a key card with a Mercury symbol on it.
So I would assume.
Let's forget the elevators for right now. How about that hallway to the left?
Whoa, there's a bunch of doors.
Just a bunch, 1 or 2. Brain damage, yes. There were a great many doors lining both sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all 3 men suddenly felt very small.
Ah, shit. We're not gonna have enough time to check all these, are we?
Maybe we can come back here later. We should check out the other side. Let's head back.
To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship.
To the right this time.
After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one at the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors. We knew that because the doors talked French.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them up, starting with the closest one there.
Okay, I'm on it.
Jumpy nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
Huh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Oh god, he's going to open it. Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. It was a mimic, and ate him. Jumpy didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
Hua, hua, hua. He did, yes. He simply stood, unable to speak. Seven's eyes opened wide and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak.
Hey, what is this place?
Well, it's clearly a room with many beds.
It's so huge and empty.
Just like my soul. Oh, wait. No, it's not. A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on Seven and Jumpy. Ah, that's sad. That's why I said it's a lie. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. This is simply a normal hotel room for a furrycon. Who needs souls anyways? Yes. There were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
Yay, beds.
Is this a hospital?
No, this is an orgy room.
The harsh scent in the air is reminiscent of antiseptic solution.
I think so. There are shelves in the center of the room with medicine and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Hey,
Yes.
why is that door between 3 and 7 blank? Does that mean anything?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yeah, good idea.
The three of them threaded their way through the beds toward the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceed to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail.
Yep, locked. Just like I thought.
Naturally. After all, there are rules to the nonary game, and to allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will...
Whoa, check this out.
Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake.
Look at the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember the red back at the main staircase? If there wasn't anyone in it, it said vacant on the little screen, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing.
right? You think it's broken?
Only one way to find out.
No, nothing.
Jumpy and the others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever, and still nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't the only red on the door 8 that seemed to be malfunctioning.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
I didn't think all of them would be malfunctioning.
What does it mean?
What does it mean, Mr. Frodo?
They've got to be broken. Man, that bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this.
Whoa, Zero's been prepared for everything so far, and you're saying he's gonna make a mistake now?
Well, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all.
While Jumpy and Seven talked, Snake busied himself with examining the red. And how does that make you feel? Who knows? After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke.
It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed.
Internal hardware?
He felt that through the metal.
That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of this red, if you please.
The bottom?
The bottom? Yes, the bottom. Jumpy obliged and bent over to be the bottom to look at the underside of the device.
Huh, there's a thin slot here.
Hmm.
I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
You probably could pay the slot, but then it would become a whore.
The other two reds are the same. Something's been removed from all three of them.
Bent over. What? Who is bent over? Good one. I like it. Sounds like a ligma. The other two reds are the... okay, he said
I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts.
So I assume.
But why? And who? I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
No, Epitune, you are adorable. This could also be a ligma.
I have no idea. Why on earth would I know something like that?
Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening.
Oh, what now?
The three of them turned and saw Akane. Oh no, Jumpy thought, it's...
June!
She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of her companions, who were coming through the door behind her.
Ace! Santa! Clover! And Lotus!
Guess everyone's here.
Jumpy and Seven were, for a moment, at a loss for words.
What are you guys doing?
Why are you...
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Hello there, an average Italian. What's up? Nice. One of my favorite game series ever. Welcome. How are you doing? This is truly one of my... yeah. It's a good series. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the 9th man. Oh come on, it's just ketchup. No, thought Jumpy. Perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were that what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the 9th man had died. But they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Jumpy thought. The joy of being alive, the joy of painting. With Bob Ross. As you can see, I've prepared my canvas with a white background, as we are now adding some autumn leaves onto the canvas. Simply like that. Still alive? Yes, it's a song. He felt sorry for the 9th man, but more than anything, Jumpy was just happy to be alive. Wow, wow.
And that's what we know.
With that, Jumpy finished his own explanation.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go.
No, there's nothing there. The 5 of us had a quick look. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
It had one of those solar system mark things on it.
It was the Jupiter symbol.
Jupiter.
I wonder what it means.
Confusion seemed to be the consensus.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until 7 unexpectedly spoke up.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Jumpy looked at 7, shocked both by his knowledge and the apparent identity of their prison. He was not the only one.
What is this gigantic?
7 nodded to Lotus and began to speak.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdane bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself. Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
You could dive down there. Oh, wait.
But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gourdane bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Okay. Just making sure. Hi, Bob. 1 second, Bob. That's an audio save, don't worry. Also, cheers, Bob.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
Audio saves are terrifying. Yes, it's okay. Pet, 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 pet.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment, just sharing his thoughts, leave the man alone. Yeah. Whee! A bell began to ring from far away.
Huh. A bell.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
You will get and eat your Taco Bell. Disgusting. Don't do it. Jumpy counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
Yay!
Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room.
They had been examining the room as they talked.
But we haven't found anything.
Right.
That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right?
We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total.
All right then. That's 5 rooms we don't have to search. We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding.
Maybe?
After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with and in what order they would go. Jumpy was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft. That's great if you would know what starboard is, or fore, or aft.
All right, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
They also determined when they would return to report their findings, the next time the clock sounded the time. When it did, they would meet back in the large central room full of beds.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah, sounds straightforward enough.
If during their search, any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
Yeah, that's it.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If this strategy failed, they would return to discuss their options later.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right. Then let's do this.
The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, from far away, Jumpy heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
What a mansion! He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Ace, Santa, Clover, June, 7, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to the door number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Immediately, he knew what she had meant.
Vacant?
Jumpy sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
Jumpy wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Jumpy wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Jumpy looked around at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot had been opened on the bottom, was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Jumpy quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Yes. 1 second. Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
None.
Ace and June nodded silently. 7 raised his hands as if to say, "Not me," and Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Jumpy swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
Suddenly she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible!
Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she did, Jumpy noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover. Wait!
Jumpy cried out to her, but he was but he was too slow. You're too slow! She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Jumpy and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up.
Let's split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon only two of them were left. Those two were Jumpy and June, who had been a few steps behind the others.
All right, we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Let's see.
Yes, chat, where shall we start? The casino? The first class cabin? The hallway with all the rooms? Or back to the large hospital room? I am illiterate. What's on the screen? It is a face of a kappa. Kappa, kappa, kappa. Ba, 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 bow, bow, bow. Casino, please.
How about the casino on B deck?
Okay, let's go, Jumpy.
They took off up the stairs at a run. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
She glanced up at him, unimpressed.
Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake.
I'm just not seeing it.
Really? Maybe you need to look harder.
I don't think that's the problem.
Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it?
Listen to what she has to say, refuse and leave. What shall it be? Yes. Listen or refuse. Listen or refuse. The best part is I don't know if coffee is like basically like playing a game and occasionally commenting here. Or if he just refuses to actually write anything. I don't know. It's a choice between two options. That there is no I don't know. You pick one of those two. Listen. Adoro JJ. JJ嘛哈也是如哇我是 J 猫我就想我是 No, I don't speak Mandarin. Listen to her. Ah. See, if you had wrote that from the beginning, it would be more obvious.
What is it?
Well, I don't like to beat around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up?
Team up?
Yeah. What? You need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door?
Even if we wanted to, that's impossible.
Why?
Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our digital root would be 1. But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8.
Yes.
Then we add another person.
Huh?
Who?
What, isn't that easy? 7.
Oh, if we add 7, 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 equals 26.
Hi there, Dylan. How's it going? Don't worry, that's completely fine.
The digital root of 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8.
And the 4 of them could go through number 8 door. I'm doing fine, thank you. Pretty chill day. But
Wait a minute. What about the other 4? Ace, Snake, Santa, and Clover.
Well, why don't you add them up?
that was simple
1
enough.
plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. And 1 plus 0 equals 1. The digital root for those 4 would be 1.
That's right.
And you know the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right?
Of course I know that.
No! Are you saying you'd leave them behind?
Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind.
I'm pretty well, just a little bit tired for doing some tasks. Anyway, how about you? How's your stream going? My stream is going fine, thank you.
Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort.
Really? Why do you think that?
You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours.
He's really optimistic about leaving the ship with any time left. Yeah, right?
Well, you never know until you try.
No, you're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door 9.
Glad to hear it. And I need to sleep soon. Yeah, don't worry, I'm soon going to stop. But I'm not holding you back to go to sleep, of course.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital route for the 4 of us would be 8, so we'd have to add Ace to make 9.
So today's stream is about 10 to 12 hours long? No? I mean, I'm on 7 hours and 13 minutes? So, no?
That's right. Unless we bring Ace too, we'll be stuck.
Lotus scratched the back of her ear.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate. That's all you have to say?
She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Jumpy just said. Nor did she seem particularly surprised.
Well, let's try and find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us.
That's impossible. Are you being serious? And you do know that only 5 people, at most, can go through one of the numbered doors, right? The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
The moment he said it, Jumpy felt a chill run down his spine.
No. Wait just a second. You're skipping over a really big detail.
Yes, what she said was true, but how Lotus could remain cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him.
Is that really okay? That means 3 people will die in the end. Are you okay with that? That's just...
Lotus's forehead furrowed.
Do you think I could have a moment alone? There are some things I need to think about.
Jumpy and June turned and began walking away from Lotus.
That didn't turn out to be a very pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
Not too much longer. Jumpy's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he told himself pessimism would get them nowhere.
Well, regardless,
So he forced himself to smile and turned to June.
let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay?
Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later.
Yeah.
Jumpy nodded.
All right. Where should we go next?
Yes, well, where are we going next? First class cabin, hallway with all the rooms, or the hospital room? Ah no! Chat has to make another decision. How dare I? Gotcha. Where does Chat want to go? First class cabin, hallway, or hospital? Dun 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 bum bum. Dun 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 dun. Sniffer is not a decision. Anyone? Decision between 3 choices. Un, dos, tres. Un, dos, tres. Un, dos, tres. Decisions. Back to the large hospital room.
Hey, why don't we go back to the big hospital room?
Sure, let's go.
Together they ran down the stairs. You shouldn't run downstairs.
Hey, wait. That's...
On their way to the large hospital room, Jumpy and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door.
Santa?
Jumpy paused. What should Jumpy do? Talk to him? Or walk away? Decisions. What will it be? A talk or no talk? Walk away. Jumpy turned around and walked away from Santa.
I doubt we'd learn anything from him anyway.
Jumpy?
No, nothing. Let's go, June.
Jumpy took June and left the large hospital room. Where would they go next? The casino, which most likely is not going to do anything, the first class cabin, or the hallway, or finish searching. Dun, 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 dun. Da 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 da. Yes, 4 choices. The casino, where we already were, first class cabin, the hallway, or finish searching. Come on, chat. You can do this. I believe in you. Give me a decision. Give me a choice. What would you choose? What would you do? By the way, as you know, it's the weekend, so do you have any plans after the stream? Yes, I will eat food, because all I had so far was some flakes.
Why don't we go check out the first class cabin?
All right, let's go.
They quickened their pace and headed for B-deck. Outside the first class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. What should we do? Talk to her or leave her alone? Hi there, Vilnoise. Social battery has been depleted already. Aww. Quick, give Epitsune a hug. Oh no, I clicked outside of the game. How could I? Oh no. I don't really have a hug emote, but I give you a boop emote. So I'm doing a fast conclusion, like fast get you up to date with noise. Basically, we started in the casino room, which we passed. We found like these wonderful big hallways. We also found a hospital room, a big room filled with beds, and 3 new numbered doors. And because we found out that the machines that opened the doors were apparently not functioning and something was removed, we went to search for that in the rooms. We came back to find that they were suddenly repaired and functioning, but Snake the blind guy, is missing, and now we are searching for him. That's up to date. Here we are. After eating, any plans to get together with friends or something like that? Yeah, probably. We'll hang out with someone. And here we are, making a decision. Should we talk to Clover or leave her alone? How did you find the other people? Basically, we went through the room and came here, and the other people came here through their own room. So they did a room, we did 2 rooms? Maybe they did 2 rooms, but in the end, the ways after those puzzle rooms connected back together. That's how we found the other people. Okay, shall we talk to her or leave her alone? Decision. Make one. Found a funny moment. There are no funny moments in my streams. Everything is extremely serious. Come on, Weird Noise. Save me. Save us all. Shall we talk to Clover or leave her alone? Oh no, the pressure. I guess talk. It's about Snake missing. Good.
Are you alright?
He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond.
Look, I know you're really worried, but...
He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Jumpy hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Jumpy feared it would crush her. I would check my DMs, yes. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to.
Alone.
Her voice was thin and barely audible.
Alone.
Hmm?
Alone. I said leave me alone!
Suddenly she was screaming.
You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me!
Jumpy was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well.
Why are you still here? Didn't you hear me? Huh? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just...
Alright, let's go, June.
Yeah.
They turned and left Clover. As they did, Jumpy glanced back over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Jumpy told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed.
We really need to find Snake, for Clover's sake.
He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile.
So, where do you think we should go next?
Well, I can tell you that we already went to the casino and we found Lotus there, who offered to team up to get to the end. And then we noticed that it might work for the rooms we have currently, but we also noticed that we still need the digital route of 9 to actually escape. And yeah, that doesn't work exactly out as Lotus planned. and she went back to think over the situation again. And yeah, what are we going to do? Do we still want to check out the hallway? Or do we return to the hospital room? Ah. So basically, you only have to choose between two. You know? That makes it easier. Go all the way back to the toilet. Well, that doesn't work. And you know that. So what do you want? Hallway or hospital? Come on, make a choice with noise. Hallway.
Hey, why don't we go back to C deck? We can take a look at that hallway with all the rooms.
Okay, let's get going then.
Together they ran down the stairs. Stop running down the stairs.
Oh, it's Ace.
Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace.
Hey, Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there!
What should we do? We can run to Ace or let Ace handle it. What shall they be? Bum bum bum. Run. Good, run.
Let's go.
With June in tow, Jumpy jogged up to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them.
Ah, hello there. Snake is... well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet?
Yeah, doesn't seem like you're having any luck either.
I really wonder where he could have gone.
Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can. For Clover's sake.
Right.
June's face looked kinda enraptured.
By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings?
Why would you say that?
Question seemed somehow odd to Jumpy.
Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all.
Ace looked at him for a moment and then spoke.
Yes, you know, now that you mention it, they don't.
Now that you mention it?
Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare.
Jumpy wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke.
At any rate, we really must find Snake as soon as possible. The clock is ticking. We really can't afford to waste any time. Very well. Let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me.
All right. Let's go, Jumpy.
At June's urging, they left. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Jumpy's mind was in turmoil.
Something about that was... I'll think on it later. Like Ace said, finding Snake is our top priority.
Jumpy did his best to clear his mind.
All right, where should we go next?
As far as I remember, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference if we go to the same area twice. So I will say we go back to the hospital
Why don't we
room.
go back to the big hospital room?
Okay, let's go then.
I could be wrong though, but I think there was nothing. They turned and headed back toward the large hospital room.
I don't think anyone is here. What next?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we did this, but I wonder. Let's go to the
Let's
casino.
go take a look around the casino.
Okay.
Let's see if this changes anything. I They quickened their pace and headed for B deck.
There's no one here. Let's try somewhere else.
Okay, first class.
Let's go take a look at the first class cabin. It's really close.
They turned around and took down the hallway to the left.
No one's here. Maybe we'll have more luck somewhere else. But where?
So basically, the game is looping now, so we can't
Let's head
actually
back to
go
the
back.
large hospital room.
Alright, that's probably the best idea.
Together they run down the stairs. Walk down the stairs. Stop running.
I don't think anyone is here. What next?
Gonna finish the searching. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found.
Snake hasn't been anywhere we've searched.
Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Jumpy couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point of wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, Seven spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right.
Saw a news article about Half-Life 2 getting a new version. Also, the Half-Life 2 is currently free on Steam for a limited time. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I kind of heard something in the direction of like Half-Life. The thing is, like, I get it. Like, I really get it. Like, the original Half-Life 2 is very old by now. It's not like bad or anything, but I know Valve kind of updated their engine, so I wouldn't be surprised that they make a remake of 2 or a remaster. Let's hope it's a remake instead of a remaster. But I'm not sure where they are going with this. I don't think people should make themselves any hopes of like, oh god, this means Half-Life 2 Episode 3. They just merged episodes and fixed some bugs. Yeah. They did it for the anniversary. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, don't have any hopes that there will be a chapter 3. It will not happen. Nor will Half-Life 3 happen. I think Valve has passed this point a very long time ago, and it would only disappoint if they made it actually. They're probably better off just making a new IP or make like an IP related to the universe of Half-Life, but like something different, where they could like literally start over. If, of course, they would be even interested in that. I mean, it was almost half a miracle that they made Alex. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure Valve is not really much interested anymore in making games. I mean, they have literally a money printing machine with Steam. Which brings me to the point that Valve maybe should consider to make an Index 2 and release it worldwide and not just exclusively for some countries at a lower price point. Thank you.
We're not gonna find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Yes, update, apparently my bad. Oh, okay.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, then 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people respectively, then 2 people will be left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave 1 person out, then only 1 person will be left behind.
Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. But anyways, Half-Life 2 for free on Steam. In case anyone here happens to be missing it, it's available. Yeah. I mean, that's nice. If you have never played Half-Life 2, which is almost strange at this point. But hey, if you ever wanted to experience Half-Life 2, there's your chance to actually do that. It's worth it. They are good games. Leaving behind 3 people with 2 teams of 4 and 3. Not sure? She was right. What choice is it going to be? Yes, decision time. Oh no. Decisions. You can do it, chat. Give me a and then decide. Wow. Come on, bit of noise. Save it and make a decision. There's my and now you can make a decision, which is perfect. No, don't do that. We're not. It will not make a choice. You know that. Stop avoiding it. Too late. Already chose my choice. Okay. Not sure. Jumpy wasn't quite sure that was true. Yeah, I knew you two gremlins going to do that.
Wait a minute. 2 people get left behind if we split into 5 and 2. And 1 person is left behind if we split into 3, 3, and 1. I got that part. You can't go through the numbered doors with any less than 3 people. But if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people have to be left behind?
Just run the numbers. Let's say we go through door 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6. Who's left over?
That would be 3, 7, 8.
What's the digital root for that?
3 plus 7 plus 8 is 18, so add 1 and 8, 9.
Exactly. But door 9 isn't here, right? That means 3, 7, 8 won't be going anywhere. That was just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same. It doesn't matter which 4 it is. The 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal. We only have to sacrifice one person if we split into 3, 3, and 1.
When Seven spoke, his voice was strained.
Then you're saying we gotta decide who's gonna stay behind.
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution. If the other 6 are to survive, then one person has to sacrifice themselves.
No, that's too cruel!
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant! We shouldn't sacrifice anyone!
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa, calm down, you two.
Santa stepped between Lotus and June.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
Exactly. That's how democracy works. And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think?
No! That's terrible!
I'm not asking you. Shut up. What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Oh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Actually, she's standing, as you can see. Also, interesting small hands. Her whole body drooped. Jumpy didn't know if she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to Clover and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me, right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked toward Jumpy.
Now, let's start a vote too.
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech, and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even care.
I will stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that! That won't solve anything!
June's voice shook and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. Ace simply looked at her.
June, I'm afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you. Each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back for me.
Whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them...
You won't be able to return, correct?
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back and rescue me. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time.
Finally, Jumpy could hold his tongue no longer.
We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
Ace's voice was dignified and without a hint of cruelty or malice. Jumpy had no rebuttal.
You see, There's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Jumpy stood frozen by indecision, unable to move. June bit her lip so hard that Jumpy feared she would break the skin. Santa stood against the wall, calm and aloof. Seven tore his beanie from his head and turned it over anxiously in his hands. Only Clover stared at Ace with an expression Jumpy was unable to decipher. Lotus's attitude, however, was different from the others.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer then.
She smiled, her eyes bright. Ace answered with a smile of his own.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
As he spoke, Ace lowered himself down to the floor next to one of the beds. From somewhere deep in the ship, Jumpy suddenly heard the screeching of metal on metal. It was almost as if the ship were screaming. I would say was. Would it really hold until the time limit was up? Already the deck was flooded. In the sudden silence, the only sound was the sad metal wail of the ship. Unsurprisingly, it was Lotus who spoke first.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
As if a spell had been broken, the others all began to talk at once.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa?
I have to find my brother.
Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
His words sounded hollow and fake.
Fine! Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own.
She spun around and ran toward Ace. He had slumped down next to the bed when June grabbed his arm and pulled.
Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here.
Then it happened. Ace fell forward. He slumped over onto the wooden floor, his body folded in half like a boxer out cold.
Ace!
June cried out and dropped to her knees beside him. She put her arm around his neck and did her best to lift him up.
What happened? Ace, say something!
She shook him frantically. His eyes fluttered open.
I'm all right.
His voice was weak and slightly slurred.
How are you all right?
This.
He held out his left arm and slowly opened his hand.
A syringe?
In it was a syringe and a small vial. The vial was empty. It had only recently been emptied. A few drops clung to the sides. There was a label taped to the side of the container. It read, Soporil Beta. Soporil Beta.
Soporil Beta. What does this do? Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
anesthetic?
I found it earlier, while we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap. I really am very tired.
Jumpy knew that wasn't why he'd done it. Ace had injected himself with an anesthetic to forestall Jumpy and June's attempts to bring him along. If he couldn't move, there was nothing they could do. He'd injected himself so that they would be forced to leave him behind.
Ace,
Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
no, don't, Ace, don't fall asleep.
You feel warm. So comfortable. I think I'll have a nice dream.
Hi, Bob. Ace's eyelids drooped further and further, almost as though he were dying. Why he were? He was. He. No, this is the past form. Almost as though he. No. Really? I would almost as though he was dying. Why were? Should be was. Is this like a proofreading mistake? A slight grammar mistake? Spelling mistake? Hi, Bob. Anyway.
Ace! Ace!
She shook his shoulder again and again, but this time he didn't respond. Only the gentle rising and falling of his chest told them he was alive. Jumpy was relieved to see he was, in fact, still breathing.
Let's get him up on a bed.
He lifted Ace up off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Jumpy turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste, right?
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
No, nothing.
It felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly, Santa spoke.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Ah, yes. Yes, that's true.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Her face distorted by rage, Lotus took a step forward. A step toward 7. Forward. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
She shot him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off.
Alright, who's next?
Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, they stopped on Jumpy.
Junpei, which door do you want?
At last, Jumpy's mind was already made up. Was it? Yes. And now, Viv Noise will make a wonderful decision between number 3, 7, and 8, and cannot ask for the opinion of other people. It's gonna be a noise decision between 3 numbers. Yes, how evil. Come on. With noise. 3, 7, or 8. No stalling. There we go. Welcome. What? 7? No. 3. No. 8. Yes. But now choose one of those 3 numbers. We have noise, please. Make a choice.
I think I'm gonna go with door 8.
Okay, 8 it is.
Yeah.
Alright then. That means June's gotta go through 7.
What? Why?
What?
Santa grimaced, and muttered angrily to himself, but finally began to explain.
If the 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind, there are only 3 ways we can do it.
Plan A.
Have 3, 5, and 8 go through 7, and 4, 6, and 7 go through 8. 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Or 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8. There are no other combinations. In other words, 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 can never go through the same doors. You get it now?
As Santa finished, June looked over at Jumpy, tears welling up at the corners of her eyes.
Oh no! You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Jumpy felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, steeled his resolve, and did his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up, but only for a while. This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I'll bet 7 and 8 are just like that.
You mean they're connected somewhere?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why? What makes you think so?
If they don't, then neither team can get through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zero's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door.
June said nothing. Her tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Jumpy. He met them, and with what reassurance he could manage, laid his hand gently on her shoulder.
Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna see each other again. I promise.
June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod.
Yes. Promise?
Her voice was barely above a whisper. Pinky promise? Santa's voice shattered at the moment.
You guys are done, right?
He stretched and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7 and Clover can take 8. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
All right, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked toward door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Jumpy headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in the front of the door. Then Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Jumpy and Clover.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are we ready to see it next time?